Kill me! I'm here! Kill me!
Hey everybody, this is Matthew Movies coming at you with my review of Patriots Day, the Mark Wahlberg movie that came out in 2016 about the Boston Marathon bombings and everything that happened afterwards. And I thought this movie was exceptional. I thought it was so well done. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was fascinating because obviously this is an extremely memorable event that has taken place over the last few decades, and yet there was so much that happened that I had absolutely no idea about. I remember following it at the time and seeing some of the stuff that does happen in this movie for sure, like obviously the bombing itself. I remember there being coverage that was pointing to other people than the people that were actually involved. I remember that kind of thing, and then like the photos leaking of the actual people that were suspects. I remembered all that, but the actual things that led up to the arrest and or death of the people that actually committed these heinous acts, I did not know almost any of that. I thought it was amazing. It was such an amazing story that I'm very happy that they told, because there's definitely some people that were involved in this that did very heroic things and very brave things that if they hadn't done the things that they did, one, those people probably wouldn't have been caught, and two, the two people who did this were on their way, were planning to go to New York and actually started to travel to New York in order to commit other similar crimes. So other people would have died if it wasn't for the acts of these people. Now, Mark Wahlberg plays a character in this movie that I did look into it afterwards, and is a composite of several different police officers. So there isn't a guy that the guy that Mark Wahlberg played isn't a person who existed. Now there are people that did all the things that he did, but not him. But like for instance, one of the things that I learned in this movie that I did not know about was that there was the two bombers carjacked somebody, and that guy ended up escaping, and by doing so identified the car that they were in, which led to the death of one and the other one being on the run. Because if he hadn't done that, there was nothing that was going to stop them from getting out of town. And the fact that this guy, well, I mean, obviously it was self-preservation, but he also acted very quickly. As soon as he got out of there, he went and identified him to the police, and like just the fact that he got free the way he did was amazing. Because we all would like to sit back and watch these situations and imagine what we think we would do in them, and how we would, I'd punch that guy or do, and but you never know what you would actually be able to do in those kinds of situations. And for him to escape the way he did, with a guy right there with a gun who has told him that he's committed these heinous acts, that is courage, man. Like, that is impressive. And if he hadn't been able to do that, there's every reason in the world to think that a lot of other people may have died. And like I said, they were planning on going to New York, which I didn't actually know until I watched this. But who knows if they would have stopped there? I mean, if they succeeded in New York, I got to assume that they're probably gonna keep going. And who knows? They could have been outside, just gotten a ticket outside of Boston and gotten arrested for whatever. I mean, obviously not a ticket, because they wouldn't have allowed themselves to do that. But you know what I mean. They could have been caught in any other number of ways. But this guy escaping the way he did made it possible that they did escape, that they did get caught the way that they did, that they didn't escape. And that was amazing. The circumstances of the arrest of the other dude blew me away, and I can't believe I didn't know that. Like, that is such a crazy story. And there's part of me that's kind of assumed that at one point I did know that, but forgot it. But it seems like something I wouldn't have forgotten, because it's nuts how he gets caught, and like the involvement of the entire city, like the way everybody came together to help the police try to catch these guys. It was just such a beautifully told story. There was subtlety in it, but it also didn't pull any punches. Like there's moments in, like, early on in the movie, right after the bombings take place, where there's the brutality that you see is, they didn't pull any punches on that, and they shouldn't have, because what these guys did was awful, and the results were horrendous and heinous. And we're like, the fact that they didn't flinch away from showing that, I think was exactly what they should have done. This movie, to me, never felt like it was opportunistic or playing on people's emotions. It struck me as a story. The real point of the movie to me wasn't really about the bombing. It was about how the people came together to deal with it afterwards, and it was beautiful to see, and I loved everything about it. There's definitely a movie that I want to pick up and own because I thought it was marvelous. If you saw the movie, let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you disliked it, I'd be very interested to hear why. Other than that, please hit that like button. It really does huge things for my channel. It makes it much more likely that YouTube will let people know that my channel exists. And please hit subscribe. If you're new to this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, I would be very appreciative if you subscribed, because I love talking to people about movies and I'd love you to be one of those people. So other than that, have yourself a nice day.